Okay, so in continuation of the Capricorn Pluto generation is going to be looking at historically how how this alignment, how this astrological alignment has influenced the events that happen here on Earth. And the first one is going to be in governmental systems and restructuring with the American colonials. It was in recognition of unconsented taxation by the authority by the authority figures. And then the second one that we've seen a little bit more today is the alteration in perception of things that we don't really understand, that we receive in a fearful way rather than in a way that's more like, whoa, that's so cool. So those were two different structures that weren't really working very well. The unconsented taxation by authority figures, it's a bond structure that wasn't working very well. And then the second one was a fear relationship with the unknown. And that was a structure that wasn't working very well. And let's see. So the Pluto is aligned with Capricorn until 2024. Yeah, 2024. So people who are born within this generation are likely to have a little bit of influence on restructuring the things that aren't really working right now. So, for example, like some things that we might start seeing is in the issue of marriage structure. So marriage is a traditional foundation structure that after the understanding of nuclear energy came about, where we're splitting into two what was once one. Divorce rates have risen quite a bit. So if we look at for example, the Bible, marriage is a blending of two in one form. And when we have access to these scientific technologies that allow us to understand, to take what was once one and split it into two, there becomes something like a rise in divorce rates. But it seems to me that marriage structure is something that isn't really working because it has something like a 50% success rate. So predictions, we might see a little bit of an increase in relationship structures, more like polygamy and polyamorous type relationships, where each person is able to have those close connections with multiple people. Okay, so and we've already kind of started seeing that a little bit. So I think that might be on the right track. And then political party tensions. There's a lot of like I said, tensions between people of different political parties, and that's like a really big thing that seems like it's causing a little bit of disunity or like polarization within the American the American government. It's like what was once one has two different ideas, so it's being pulled apart and divided, kind of like cell division. So it doesn't necessarily have to be nuclear. It could be something more like two cells are, or there was once one cell, and then they went through cellular division, and that's polarity, by the way, too. Um, uh, and it becomes two different ones. Okay, so for something like the American like political government and stuff like that, one potential way to like recreate unity would be in uh, following along the path of Capricorn structures, and then Pluto in um, like taking past structures and incorporating it in. One 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 governmental structure that I think is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how practical it would be, but this is just a random example. Would be Lacedaemonia, and Lacedaemonia is their capital city was Sparta, and they operated on a communistic republic. That means it's a commune based, like community based republic. So each person is self governed. That's what republic means. Republic means self govern, and communistic means that it's a social structure based on community and community connections. So marriage structure is one thing that we might see a little bit of changes in, and then political like political party structure we might see a little bit of changes in too.